Sir.
Mic check 1 2.
Mic check. Check, check.
All the hatred in the world, it really hurts my soul. Another body in the street, another life gone cold. Another mother in agony watching life unfold. But there is no console. Tell me why we gotta hate each other. Why we can't just love each other. Why we gotta shoot each other. Why we can't just love each other.
Yo, look me in the face. We don't even have to hate. Enough money we could chase. Let's uplift the race. Let's get it. Let's get to a place. We can sit and talk face to face. Like me, there's a lot that we relate. You don't have to take the bait. Be a man. Anybody put a gun in hand. Anybody can throw their hands. Anybody can choke or slam. Anybody can chase a bag. Let's plan and get them bands. Let's plan to go get them meals. Get back and pay them bills. Tell me why you shoot. Tell me why you hate. Tell me why you can't get on your grind and choose your fate. Let go of anger. Let go of pain. I know the whys. I felt the same. Been there. Cops killing, ops killing. No difference. Jail cells, graveyards, same sentence. I hopped off that porch with no regrets. To take control of life, I had to walk back up them steps.
All the hatred in the world, it really hurts my soul. Another body in the street, another life gone cold. Another mother in agony watching life unfold. But there is no console.
Tell me why? Tell me
why we gotta hate each other.
Tell me why? Tell me why?
Why we can't just love each other.
Why? Tell me why?
Why we gotta shoot each other.
Tell me why? Tell me why?
Why we can't just love each other.
Rest in peace, Mars. Love you, bro. Rest in peace, Romy. Love you, bro. Rest in heaven, Wax. Love you, Wax. R.I.P. to all the homies. Can't forget Spider. As a kid, I was inspired. He put rims on his tires, so tall that you can climb them. Hug your people, love your people. It's time to change. You've been keeping score, let's keep our people. Play a different game. Let go of evil, let's be peaceful. We've seen the movie change the sequel. I was on those front lines. Went to war with the other side. '09, I was active. I'm not talking online. I fought for respect, and I fought for what's mine. I fought for the game, and I fought for my side. I fight today to break the cycle. That type of life is suicidal. That life ain't it. I hopped off that porch with no regrets. To take control of life, I had to walk back up them steps.
All the hatred in the world, it really hurts my soul. Another body in the street, another life gone cold. Another mother in agony watching life unfold. But there is no console.
Tell me why? Tell me.
Why we gotta hate each other?
Tell me why?
Why we can't just love each other?
Tell me why? Tell me.
Why we gotta shoot each other?
Too many people dying for no reason. We gotta stop it, we gotta break the cycle.
Why we can't just love each other?
Tell me why?
Tell me why. Tell me why.
We gotta stop taking score. We gotta start protecting our people, uplift our people. The biggest lie we was told is that you gotta die for your respect. There is no word in the dictionary I'm willing to die for, and you shouldn't be neither.
Wake up in the morning with a smile. You make me so happy, it's worth my while.
Test.
I don't care what others have to say. Your love is the greatest gift that'll
Mic
come
check.
my way. So it's so extraordinary, it's incredible. Something about the love you give, unexplainable. Can't imagine where I'd be if you let me go. Wrote a simple song to say, you make my soul glow. You make me feel so incredible. You're the source of my strength and the strength of my life. You make my soul glow. You are always
This is another 419 Grind exclusive. Toledo, rep your city. Visit us online at the419grind.com.
That's right, it's the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show. Good Wednesday morning. It is the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show presented to you by the 419 Grind Podcast exclusive. I want to say good morning to everyone that started your morning. We are in the studio, 419 studio. It is your boy, Big Trees,
And the Mrs. Leah Renee.
Good morning.
What's up, Leah? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Chase?
Man,
I'm happy to have you back.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw y'all working yesterday. We seen it. We seen y'all making it happen. Had a lot of engagement in terms of the conversation, which was huge. Big shout out to our and I'm gonna say, I said I was gonna work on that shout out. Much appreciation to our intern, Mr. Dewan, because
Yes,
y'all was doing it
absolutely.
yesterday. The baby looked good.
Thank you.
How did the baby sleep?
She slept pretty good.
All right,
Yeah,
all
she
right.
slept all night, actually.
Man, what?
She had a busy day. She was with me all day, so we had a busy day, and she slept all night.
And I can only imagine how that feels when you're able to get some good sleep
Yes.
throughout the whole night. Again, this is the all-new Rise and Grind Morning Show presented to you by the 419 Grind Podcast. Exclusive. Want to give a lot of love sent to our executive producer, Mr. Jesse Coleman, and our business teammate, Mr. Victor Coleman.
Yes.
And prayers, Vic, and to the family, my brother, man, I'm so proud. I'm so proud that Leah, he is working through an adversity.
Yes.
And so we want to continue to send prayers to the
Yes,
family.
yes.
I know you feel the energy from the room. Also, make sure that you like us, you share us, you love us on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube page. This is the #1 urban podcast media show in the country. And ain't nobody else doing it like this.
That's right.
We are #1. So, Leah, so my vibe with you right now is you still trying to wake up a little bit. You have to shake it off a little bit
Yeah, maybe.
because it's Wednesday. You got to work it out.
Yeah, I'm waking up.
Early, y'all, early. Good morning to all the grinders. Again, just appreciate each and every last one of you. Right off the top, Leah, it was kind of brisk this morning. I put on my little hoodie and my sweatshirt
Yes.
because it was a little bit nippy. What's going on and what's up with the roads? What's up with the traffic?
Well, yeah. First of all, the weather. Yes, I came out of the house this morning and I couldn't find any of my hoodies. My daughter's always taking my clothes, and it was very brisk. And it's 54 degrees. It's sunny, but it is brisk out there. So if you're like me and you get cold all the time, you definitely want to take a hoodie when you go out the door. But later this afternoon, it's going to get to a high of 79. It's going to be a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. Sunny. Very beautiful. So then tomorrow and going into the weekend, it's going to drop down into the 60s. So we're going to start to see that fall weather creep in. And but it will be sunny all weekend. So that's good. It'll actually be really great weather. It'll be nice, not too hot, not too cold with the sun out. So yeah, find something to do this weekend because it's going to be great weather. The traffic, I saw there's an incident out there on Dorr Street by McCord in Holland, Sylvania. So if you're going through that area, definitely give yourself a little bit more time and take your time going through there. So that's all on the traffic and the weather.
Well, that's what's going on. Again, if you traveling on any major roads or highways, we ask the traveling grace is around you. And yeah, I did see the weather this week, Leah. It's gonna be that Boo and Bay weather right here. You better get you boot up, cause it's gonna be brisk. And then I seen it goes, it's gonna be down in the late 40s throughout the week. Mm-hmm. So if you ain't got no milk and cookies, you better get you some milk and cookies, cause it's gonna be kind of warm this morning. Just want to take.
You got some milk and cookies?
Man, I keep milk and cookies. It's big Negro season right now. I would say the other word. I'll just say big man season right now. One thing about Big Trees, baby, and big shout out to all my folks in college. My nickname was Big Sexy, and so y'all know what that means.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can see it.
We the ones they talking about right now. We kind of hot right now. So again, just much love. Make sure you get you a big man in your life. We make sure that you keep the heat on 72, baby, with the fan on your feet. DeJuan. You don't know nothing about that, man. You don't know nothing about that big man. Big shout out to all the skinny dudes, too. What's up, skinny dudes?
Skinny man season.
Skinny man season. Boy, don't nobody want no twin sheets right now. They want a comforter. Again, and that's right. Y'all can hit the love. Hit the love if you like comfort. If you like big men, just hit the love button right now. If you following us on Facebook, hit the love button for everybody that like a big man. You know when they really start liking big men, though, Leah, when they get older and you get that uncle or that granddad. I love my pawpaw. I love my uncle. Why y'all don't love us when we in our 20s, in our 30s?
I've never really minded a big fella.
Okay.
Because I've always been really small. So,
okay.
I've never really dated too many skinny guys.
Okay. Yeah, so not knocking you skinny guys, but it's our season. Get out the way. Period. And big shout out to all the big guys. I'm in that vein right now for this Work It Out Wednesday. For all the big brothers that know how to smell good, keep themselves clean, washing the parts that stink.
Yes, that's very important.
Absolutely. And this is for even our healthier women and smaller women too. Because you know what I noticed though, Leah?
What?
A few years ago, there was so many women who breath stank. I didn't know what was going on in the world, but never before it was at an all-time high with women's breath stinking. Handle that, man. Brush your teeth, brush your tongue, gargle. Let the mouthwash sit in your mouth for about 30 minutes. I couldn't believe what was coming up out of there. And a lot of people like smoking weed and stuff like that. So, that's, man, but handle your breath. You ever been in the car with somebody and you try to play that thing off and roll the window down? Like, this ain't that. We not about to just keep going around. And but I have seen, Leah, has been a decrease. Not a lot of funky breaths. So somebody done said something.
Great. That's great.
Again, to my big brothers, make sure that you are washing and wiping and take a bath too. People don't take baths no more. Everybody want to take showers. I'm on that today. Yeah, make sure you soak your ass. Get in the tub. People, man,
And actually, because I ain't gonna lie to you, like I went for a really long time without taking baths, and then I just recently
expect the unexpected.
I'm talking about
No, it's but you wasn't alone because for so long though, Leah, it was just go get in the shower.
Yeah, I be moving so quick, and I in the morning got kids. You got to get up for school, then you got to get to work, and then me working in the field of broadcasting, I was having to get up really, really early a lot of days. So I just jump in the shower.
So you ain't soak your ass
real quick, baby. My ass is good. Okay, trust and believe it. But anyway, like
that's some ass. Now,
like I said, I just recently started taking baths more often with the Epsom salt.
Hey, Epsom salt.
Y'all get on my nerves.
Epsom salt, man. People don't know about that Epsom salt. That Epsom salt will look. Even DeWine, he know about that Epsom salt.
That's what I'm telling you. See, remember how I told you my body was starting to ache all over and I was having pain. So that's what made me start actually like taking the time to soak in the water with the Epsom salt. My mom, got it together, and that did wonders.
It does.
It did wonders.
And
telling
you're right, because as an athlete, we just jump in the shower, man. Epsom salt, especially in between your toes. So we just talking about working out.
In between your toes.
In between your toes, down by that pinky toe, and the stank in between there. Your navel. Look, this Work It Out Wednesday. Wash your ashtray. Wipe, clean. I don't know where you at. Some of y'all just get up in the morning. Bubble gum ain't gonna do it. You gotta brush your teeth and your tongue. Mouthwash. Take care of yourself, man. We too grown for that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed with working with young people, we don't often teach our kids how to bathe properly. My son is 10 years old. I still go in the bathroom now, and I tell him to pull that little thing back, wash up under there, lift your leg up, put it up on the tub. We have to teach our kids how to bathe.
Properly wash, yes.
I mean, wipe, wash, let the water run down. Wash your hair. He has dreads, so we got to make sure that his hair ain't, because at the end of the day, man, I don't want nobody talking about my son stank. And yeah, that part. So
right.
Hygiene
and
is.
at that age, like, because how old is your son?
My son is 10.
And my son is 8. So they're at that age where you literally have to force them. Like, my son will literally argue with me, like, Mom, I just took a shower yesterday. And I'm like, dude, it's a whole new day. Like, maybe you don't get your stanky butt in the shower. You smell like a puppy. Like, get in the shower. Like,
yes, and that's where we have to, again, we have to take that time. And I know during the pandemic, we had a chance to, it was little things like that, Leah, that you had a chance to really pay attention to with how our kids were operating, how they managed themselves during that time. Don't lose that. Continue to do that. I know right now our Facebook and our viewers are weighing in.
Yeah.
Let's show some appreciation to some of those right now this morning.
Yes, good morning to all of you, all our viewers and listeners. We love you guys, and we appreciate that you guys tune in every single morning. As soon as we start, you guys are on the live, and we love it. It keeps our energy going. So shout out. We're showing love today.
Appreciation, for sure.
We're showing love and appreciation today. So Herman is on the live. Shout out to Jesse. Yep. He's at work getting it in. And Latasha.
What you smell like, man? Make sure you wash your hands, Jesse. Thank you again. Make sure you wash your hands, Jesse.
Shout out to Latasha, Financially Lit. TJ, of course. Keitha, good morning, girl. Travis, what's up with you? Winston. Yes, Brian, good morning to all of you guys. We're sending our love and appreciation. We appreciate that you guys tune in every day, and just hit that love button if you love me. Hit that love button if you love me. Hit it. Ain't nobody hitting it. Y'all don't love me? Dang, that's how y'all feel. I gotta hit the love button for myself. Like, dang, that's how y'all feel.
So everybody that's grinding this morning, make sure you grinding. Work It Out Wednesday. Keep your ass tray clean. That's what we working out. wash white on a consistent basic, because that's what it's all about. Also,
Did you say a consistent basis?
man, because
or-
people don't be consistent. Like people, especially so back in my other life, there was a part that people would be out on the block, and you trying to focus on money, and you ain't trying to focus on your hygiene, and you suffer from that. So those that's focusing on money, don't forget to focus on your ass,
Please.
and your breath.
Please.
Dwayne, you look like you got something you want to say about that, man.
Man, what you know about them trap clothes, man?
That's fine to be in trap clothes, but please wash your ass.
But
Please.
But okay, you said trap clothes.
Right.
But then the funk is trapped in your. So how can you untrap the funk while you get into a bag?
Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We not speaking of.
Well, just know, man, I done been around the block a few times. Again, I want to thank everybody. This is the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show, presented to you by the 419 Grind. Make sure, one of the biggest things right now, you get a chance to vote for the best local podcast here in the 419. Go to ToledoCityPaper.com. Vote for us to be your number one podcast, because we're going to show love to you as you show love to us. Leah, you also want everybody to vote for what?
The best anchor duo, Miss Leah Renee and Big Trees. Vote us best anchor duo in Toledo.
What's up, Miss Gibson? Andrea on the
Yes,
line.
that's my sis. I love her. I love you, sis. Have a great day. Shout out to Katie and Tabitha. And Bree is on the live. Hey, girl, we're missing you in here. I thought I was going to see you today. But
She just exposed you.
I didn't expose her. I miss her. I wanted her to come in today.
What's up, Archie? Yeah, we having that real talk. Also,
Hey, Archie.
one of the things that I think will also be beneficial is that we put together hygienes. We have a hygiene drive. That's something that I think we should look forward to
yeah,
for
absolutely.
young adults, making sure that they have the right essentials that they need. One thing that I know about young ladies and young men, deodorant, tampons,
Yes.
pads. Let's equip our kids so they're not talking about our kids.
Yeah.
My niece, she had me, she said, Unc, could you go get me some pads? Pads? But at the end of the day, that's my baby. I'm going to get her some pads. But what I had to do, Leah, I'm going to call you when I'm standing in front of them so I know which ones to get.
Yep. And it's good because we got FaceTime now, so you can even FaceTime.
Man, I did. I showed her the thin lines, the wraparound, the thick ones,
Yeah.
the little pouches.
Not the wraparound.
Man, listen, y'all know how y'all keep that thing.
Oh, yeah. We got to keep that thing together.
So even for the young men, one of the things that as our young people and our nieces and nephews and us that go through, make sure you get, some of they go through puberty. So their skin, clear seal, alcohol, making sure they wipe behind their neck,
Yes.
behind their ears.
Yes.
That's one thing that I always was not impressed with people about, because people would say how fresh they is, how dope they is. Let me go give you this white towel and see how clean you is.
Right.
So I ain't impressed by how you look on the outside.
Right.
How are you when you taking care of your personal
Right.
health and wealth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I have to make it a point to do that for my son, particularly because he's got one of them necks that's like a little dark in the back. And I'm like, we can't let that get crusty. So I literally have to go in there with, make sure, he washes himself correctly behind his ears, all the back of his
Absolutely.
neck, scrub everywhere.
Thank you so much. And Leah, make sure you don't forget behind the back of his calves and in the crevice of his arms, the creases. We have to show him that stuff hold funk too.
Yeah.
My son is
Big
10.
boys.
Huh?
Especially for the big boys.
Especially
And
for
my
the big
son is a
boys.
big boy.
Absolutely,
He's
you're
a
right.
Big boy.
My son, he now, as I said, and I love you, and he's virtually in school. Big shout out, big love to my son Chase and my nieces and nephews, my little cousins. He's getting a little pubic hair down there. And it was kind of surreal because I'm like, whoa, that little thing curling up down there. He probably gonna be embarrassed, but
Yeah, you think?
he getting hair on his back and stuff now, and I'm just like, what the? But one thing that I had to show him is you take that deodorant, you wipe your hand, and you you wipe down there by that thangalang with that deodorant, man. Get that funk down there. But when he does that, and that's why it's so important that we always take showers and baths, because, you know, you put some white on your hand and wipe down there, next thing you know, that thing get to man, y'all act like y'all ain't lived before. Okay, act bougie if you want to. We go at in real conversations.
And like, you know, you were talking about in the crevices, like behind the cows and in the crevices. And my sis Andrea, she's a nurse. She said, yes, don't need any fungal infections, because especially for us moms who have the new babies. Like, I ended up, my baby got an infection underneath her neck because she's 4 months now and she's teething, so she's slobbering a lot. So when she's laying on her back, the slobber is going down in her neck.
Oh, yeah.
It was going down in her neck, and then it was dripping down into her armpits. And so she ended up, I wasn't like literally, she's, you know, all roly-poly now. So I hadn't actually, until I actually like lifted her neck up and looked, it was like, you know, starting to get raw. So and I had to start putting like a cream. So we have to, especially at that age, like 5 and 6 months, when they're real chubby and they got that, like, you know, that little baby fat in the lip in there, we got to make sure we are getting in those crevices and keeping it dry, you know, because it'll start to get raw, and then, you know.
Well, that's what happened to my neck. That's what happened to the back of my head. Like, if y'all look at the back, I had to pull that up and get the crevices out of there, because you right, Leah. We have to take the time and cleaning in those places on us and our kids, our nieces and nephews, because oftentimes we just say our kids, and that extends out to our nieces and nephews and little cousins. So
we love the kids.
We definitely love the kids. But we got more on the show. Got a great show this morning. Yes. Thank you to everybody that's listening. As we go to break, make sure you like us, love us. Go to YouTube real quick. Subscribe. All you have to do is hit subscribe. It's real easy. Help this be the best podcast in the country, because it's growing with you as you grow with us. Don't go nowhere. And keep us locked right here on the all-new Rise and Grind Morning Show, presented to you by the 419.
If you're tired of church as usual and you're looking for something invigorating, exciting with passion, then the Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church, 3251 Glendale, is the place for you. We are a people that's determined to occupy all streets while cultivating cultural change. The only thing's missing is you. Meet us at 3251 Glendale Avenue as we continue to be relevant and occupy all streets while cultivating cultural change.
Bring us back, Leah. Well, no, the
right now.
Not yet. No, the commercial playing right now.
No, I don't think so. Welcome back.
There we
to
go.
the all-new Rising
There
Grind
we
Morning
go.
Show. Expect the unexpected, because, you know, listen, sometimes it just gets a little odd around here. But thank you guys for tuning in. You're back on air with Big Treese and Miss Leah Renee. Good morning to all our listeners and our viewers. What's up, Treese?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Again, we can't. Let's get the camera shot on the t-shirts. If you want a t-shirt, again, these t-shirts help keep a young person out of trouble. As we got our interns in and making sure that you get up and Dewan, Murky Murk, and Trey. Congratulations to Trey as he's on his new job. Murky Murk is in school. So Dewan is in here engineering the show. And we have some t-shirts. We got red, yellow, blue, black. Hustle, grind, and shine right here. We got your size. If you would like a t-shirt, send your size. Inboxes. That's where we keep it real simple. Yep. Inbox the 419 Grind, your size. And shirts are $20. Again, this fundraiser helps us to put money and resources in our interns' hand and continue to do some of the outreach that we would like to do, because one thing about it, Leah, is that we got to help us. We keep talking about what other people got to do for us to help our kids and help. We got to be willing to help ourselves. And I like the idea that The 419 Grind is doing a fundraiser selling T-shirts for $20. We have all sizes. Actually, but you know what? I think we should give a T-shirt away.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun idea. Let's give a T-shirt away.
All right, so this is what you got to do, though, Leah. You can't just get a T-shirt. You have to go subscribe to the YouTube page, screenshot it, send it to our inbox. You get a free T-shirt right now. To all our listeners and viewers, it's not, go subscribe, come back, go to the YouTube page, hit subscribe to the 419 Grind, call 419-540-3566, or if you don't know, hit the number. If you don't know the number, we'll say it one more time. I like when our drops do it, though, because that's kind of dope. Call the studio. Over one more. There we go. There you go.
Give us a call at 419-540-3566. We want to hear from you.
And you get a free T-shirt presented to you by the 419 Grind Podcast exclusive. So, Leah, some of the tidbits, some of the things that's just like off the top right now going around. The Lakers are now in the Western Conference Finals against the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets last night came back from they were down 3-1 in the series. Everybody thought the Clippers was going to win because they got Kawhi Leonard. What's the other? Man, I forgot it. Oh, man, I didn't went froze for a minute. But the Clippers were to unanimously beat Denver. Nobody saw that happening. Denver came back from 3-1. They won 4 games in a row and beat the Clippers, and now they're going to play the Lakers.
Oh, wow.
And
so everybody thought that it was going to be the Clippers and the Lakers, right?
it was going to be the Battle of Los Angeles.
Right, yeah.
LA Clippers, LA Lakers.
Yeah, big. Wow.
The Denver
Big
Nuggets in there.
surprise. They
I heard
came
you
through.
talk about, no, you said you went through Utah yesterday.
I went through Denver as well, though.
You went through Denver?
My God. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I got pictures from there that, like, you would think somebody painted it. Like,
wow.
And it's real pictures that I took, like, from my phone.
And
so beautiful out there.
So Denver right now is rocking because they're in the NBA Western Conference Finals.
Wow. So that's big for them. Because when's the last time they ever...
I want to
does
say
anybody know? Has it been a long time, right?
95,
Yeah,
possibly.
so like 20 years. It's over 20 years, right?
Paul George. Yep, Jesse is telling us it's Paul George. That was the other big name on the
okay.
Clippers
Yeah.
with Kawhi Leonard, and they lost.
Ooh.
In the Eastern Conference Final, since Jesse is...
Boston fan.
Yeah, but they lost, Leah.
Oh, they lost? What? So they're out now?
No.
Oh, okay.
They are in the Eastern Conference Finals. So the winner of the Western and the Eastern right now is Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. That is Jesse Coleman's team.
So the Miami Heat, they trying to make a comeback, huh?
And they beat the Celtics last night. Since
wow.
you on the line, Jesse. What happened to your
about that, Jesse?
What happened to your Celtics? He gonna come with some excuse.
He's gonna say they come back like it ain't over.
It ain't over because
it ain't over.
It was the first game. So NBA is really taking off. The WNBA is taking off. Again, want to give a big shout out to our very own Natasha Howard, as she is with the Seattle Storm, and I think they're one of the top teams in the WNBA.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's still doing it.
Wow, that's big ups.
Look, Jesse talked about we still gonna win. Again, those is weighing in on the Facebook Live.
And he said 2009, so I think
that was Denver. The last time they made it.
Why did we said 1997?
95, but then they went in 2009 as well.
Okay, got you.
Yep. One thing about Jesse, he is on that sports stuff.
I love it. He be having all the stats.
But I thought he was supposed to be building Jeeps right now.
Hey, don't put him out there.
Okay, don't. Be safe. Be safe. That's like dudes that be locked up. Like, these Negroes got real phones and if you ever been in that situation, man, it ain't something you want to do. So big shout out to all the dudes in jail with phones. Like, they going live.
I want to say big shout out to my big bro. He's in Iowa. He's currently serving a life sentence. He's been in there for like 30 years, and that's my bro. But he be watching me. He be watching the show and stuff, and he be having all his friends in there watching and stuff. So shout out to all of them.
So and that's big. Whether guilty or innocent. One thing that I don't condone is pedophilia and assault and all that domestic violence. So if you in there for putting your hands on someone or forcing yourself upon somebody, or if you're doing it now and you ain't got caught, be cool, because the right person find out that you're doing it, that's your ass. We not playing that game.
Yeah.
But those that's, and I understand that there's a situation that everyone may have a different story, but those that's serving time for committing those type of acts on someone, a child or senior, a woman, a man, you get what you got coming. But those that's behind the walls, we asking for your prayer for them, and God, you handle it, really, because I get it. That's another whole topic. And I've been in that situation. I done worked in that situation, so I'm not really playing down someone being incarcerated, because I really don't think that nobody should be locked up in a cage. But if you have committed a violent crime or did something you ain't got no business, you have to suffer consequences with that.
Yeah.
Leah talking about, yeah.
It's sad though, because there's so many of our African American men who are in behind bars for stuff they didn't do, or even if they
very minor offenses.
Minor offenses that they ended up getting, crazy time for. I don't know. It's just sad. And I don't know. I just thought about my brother. I got emotional.
So definitely our hearts. One of the things that I do want to also make light of. So yesterday I had to attend a funeral service, a homegoing celebration for my sister's grandmother. But what I saw yesterday, Leah, is this is for all the men that is listening to this on iHeartRadio, following us on Facebook, subscribing to us on YouTube. Men, start helping these women out at these repasts and other family functions and things, because now it ain't just the men, because I'm saying this to all family members and friends. Help clean up.
Right.
Help set up. Man, I'm talking about yesterday. Big ups to my family. We pulled together. We made it. We made it work. Especially when you lose someone and your family have to pull together. But what I noticed, Leah, that there was not a lot of men helping clean up afterwards. And I was so discouraged with the men. Stop trying to eat and leave. Sit your ass down, put the table in, check the trash.
Right.
Make sure the ladies aren't the only ones in the kitchen. So now, sometimes them older ladies be like, "Oh, baby, I got it. Don't worry about it." Yes, they do.
But at least, like you said, take the trash, put the tables up,
Help out. And again, it's not just the men, women too. Let's help out in those times of need, but also when people are putting things together, right, Leah? One thing they say, well, that ain't really my house. That ain't really no, help.
Yes. And I like my family, like on my mom's side of the family is really big. She has 12 brothers and sisters. So our family functions, especially when my grandmother was still alive, we had them more frequently, for one, and they were always, everybody was there. Everybody was at my grandmother's house. And my aunts, like, that's just how it was. Like, nobody talked about it. Nobody, oh, you do this, you do that. It's just when everybody was done eating, all my aunts and my grandmother were in the kitchen already cleaning, actually while they were cooking. They're cleaning up during that, and cleaning up afterwards. And they just, even now, when we have our functions, we all now, it's went down even to the cousins. We all already know what it is. We get up.
Do the men help?
Yes. Yep. My uncles, they put the chairs up, put the tables up, take the trash out.
Big shout out to your family for that.
So I like one thing about my family. Everybody might not always agree. People have their disagreements. But one thing's for sure, we've experienced tragedy. And every time we've experienced tragedy, our family comes together, no matter in the midst of whatever. It doesn't matter,
they work it out.
And everybody supports whoever is going through whatever at that moment. And that's why I love my family. And that's why I'm big on family.
And that's why this is the Work It Out Wednesday right here on the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show. We will be the best local podcast in the 419, but we are the #1 urban podcast in the country. Ain't nobody else doing it like this. We are live. You are live with us. We not sugarcoating it. You're going to see the errors, the blemishes as we continue to perfect this. big appreciation to our sponsors. We got some upcoming sponsors that we're going to support. You'll hear more about them. If you are a business owner and you would like for us to promote your business and brand, please let us know. I know we got a few people weighing in right now. Again, we always like to take a moment to engage our audience. Who's some of the folks that's kind of weighing in on the conversations?
Abdul just sent us a shout out. Thank you.
What's up, Big Blood?
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And everybody else that's still tuned in, still on the live. My sis Andrea, Marshall, Jesse, TJ, Tabitha, Winston, Bree, Timothy. Hey, Timothy. Dr. Vic.
Big shout out to Financially Lit. Winston, I'm going to call y'all back. Thank y'all for considering me. I got the date, October 10th. I'll follow up with you. Again, all our viewers and listeners, make sure you share this, like us, love us. We grow, you grow. One of the things that I also want to encourage people, Leah, is the ones that's on our live and listening. If you're in your car, wherever you might be, if you're on the road, please encourage someone to vote. If you're going to vote, that's one thing. Leah, we gotta reach individuals that may not vote because of the crazy stuff. Yeah. We gotta encourage people to vote. DeJuan, you're 18. Are you a registered voter?
Yeah, actually, I registered my own self.
Oh,
man, yay. Congratulations. Hey, 18 years old. So thank you. But why did you register to vote?
Because my mom, my granny kept telling me.
I love it.
They stayed on you to become a registered voter, and that's huge because what happens, Leah and D, when you don't vote, they don't include you in what's going on.
That's right.
So what I never wanted to get involved in, and someone, especially my kids and my family, even if I didn't agree with the candidates or the issues, I don't want my son to see that I wasn't a part of the change.
Yeah.
I don't want my nieces and nephews to say, well, he didn't vote, so I'm not going to vote.
And then it just goes down.
There you go, Leah.
You know, creating something that will be passed down. I agree because it is very important. But I know that, like, we all get frustrated. I know I've had my times where I get frustrated and I'll say, you know, whatever, I'm not going to vote. But then when it comes time, I always do end up going and voting because it is important. Like you said, whether or not you're going to pick a Democratic Party or whatever, we have all these different local officials that we have to vote into office that run our community. So it's like, if you care about what's going on in the community and you want things to change, that's your way to, you know, make a change.
And DeJuan actually gave up a good idea. Question of the day. Not are you voting? I want to hear from the ones that's not voting. Yeah. If you're not voting in this election or on this issue, call us right now at 419-540-3566. Again, 419-540-3566. If you are not going to vote, why you're not going to vote? DeJuan, what you was going to say, bro?
I was going to say, maybe we should ask, how do we get younger people to vote?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Yeah, because you're going to help one day, and I'll tell you some of the things that we're doing here in Northwest Ohio to get younger voters engaged. And it has to start with a relationship. I will say that. So call in right now if you are not voting, or, as DeJuan said, how do we get younger folks involved in the voting process? One of the things that we have done here, and actually 419 Grind Podcast created the flyer, was we were doing a voter registration day. So like the athletes that signed their letter of intent to go to college, we was going to create the fanfare. We was going to make it hype. You was going to bring your squad.
Have a DJ maybe?
Man, the whole nine.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Right before you started to say that, I was going to say what would be cool is if like somebody planned like some sort of like party, because that's what gets kids' attention, you know, plan a party, but have like the first, you know, they have to, you know, in order to get into the party, you have to come by a certain time and you have to go through that whole, you know, you have to vote. That's all you have to do. You know, you just have to vote, and then boom, a nice event to follow with music, fun, food. You know?
Absolutely.
That's a great idea.
And so what we were doing, it was called the National High School and Community Voter Registration signing day drive-through, and because of the social distance practices, we were going to just have the cars. You can blow your horn. You can have, for example, high school students, if they were on teams, their teammates could be out there, and once they sign their voter registration card, we will raise their cards up in the air, and somebody like Big Treese will announce DeJuan Tiggs, and everybody go crazy, and it'll be, oh man, it was just, like you said, with the DJ, it was really exciting. So
that's a good idea.
And it was just really to create the morale, build the morale. So we want to hear from you right now. I bet we used to have that little bet, Leah, who would call first. Your people are my people.
Right.
But DeJuan, I see you got some folks on the live too. Like, what's up to D? That boy D Will Sr. saying what's up to you.
Shout out to Kia on the live, girl.
He like shout out to D Will. Call in right now.
Yes.
We want to hear from you. 419-540-3566. One thing that I do know, many of y'all don't want to log off. That's why y'all don't call. Y'all want to stay tuned in.
And I know a lot of our listeners and viewers have jobs, and you guys are all working.
And y'all grinding.
Y'all grinding. Shout out to our grinders. Y'all out there grinding and getting it in, and I love it because you guys be up every morning, getting it in, chasing that bag, and you guys are with us, tuned in, and I love it.
Man, that is so dope of each of you. And if you're in your cars and you're driving and you can't necessarily, you got your headphones on. What's the headphones that now they use and you ain't got to have necessarily the cords?
AirPods.
If you got your AirPods in, big shout out to everybody with AirPods in. I can't afford it. I can just afford the air.
Yeah, I got some. Somebody had got some for me as a gift, and I don't even really wear them that much because I feel like they always fall out of my ears. Like I'm constantly having to fix it, and I don't got time for that. So
I struggle with that too when I was putting them in. Why? But I seen people play sports and work out, and they don't move.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. Why
what we missing, DeJuan? Are we getting the cheap ones, or they got what?
Yeah,
how do the AirPods
always fall out?
Maybe I ain't got enough wax in your ears.
Oh, well, I do keep my ears clean. I don't know.
That's what hold them in place. Okay.
Oh, okay. I
so
get
that's
it.
why we don't share what is it? Earpods or AirPods? AirPods, because, man, I done seen some folks pull out some of them AirPods and,
keep them Clorox wipes on you and wipe them daddies off every time you pull them out.
Oh, we got a
caller. Hey.
We got a caller right now. Hey, good morning, Carla. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, we know that voice right there is the executive owner and producer of the 419 Grind podcast. I hear the assembling line moving. Good morning, Mr. Jesse.
I cannot.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Morning, Jesse.
So you hear the line moving? You don't hear that line moving?
Yes, we do.
We don't break. No. But I wanted to call in about getting younger people to go out and vote.
Yes.
I know there was an event planned to get them to register, but I believe that if we had something similar to that effect on voting day, make voting day that exciting, and bus and van youth that are 18, 19, 21 years old out to the voting booths to vote. Why can't we do it on voting day?
Right.
And make that same excitement, that same enthusiasm, and go out and vote. Because that's the day that's more important. I know it's important to register, but it's more importantly to actually go out and vote. You can register all you want, but you have to go out and vote. And that's how the change happens.
Yes, I agree.
So it sounds like you on the 419 Grind podcast is exclusive is about to put on an event for the National Voting Day.
Well, we can have a meeting about that.
No, man, don't.
I think that's a great idea, though.
No, that's a good idea, though.
That's a great idea.
I mean, if we want to put that together, we can put that together and make it go live and have an actual event for it. We got to pick a polling place and see if we can get the exclusive rights to do whatever we want to do on that day, and let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Well, one thing about us, we don't have to ask. We can just do it. September 22nd is the National Voting Day, so that starts the process. But, man, thank you for calling, weighing in, man. We got another caller.
Thank you for weighing in.
Okay.
Have a good
talk to you
day.
later.
All right.
You too. Bye.
Hello, caller. You've reached the Rise and Grind Morning Show. You're on the line with Big Trees and Miss Leah Renee. What's your name?
Hey, I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. Hey, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Hey, just fine, just fine.
Brother Washington, what's up, man? Good morning. I see you grinding with us. What's up, Brother Washington?
Oh, man, I'm just getting it in, doing some working from home.
Grinding?
Hopefully, hopefully my boss isn't listening to the show right now.
She is. Just know
she is, and she understands if she is.
Well, she is, because it is you might be right, Brother Washington, because the conference started today, but she's a big supporter of the show, actually, so you might be in good hands. What's going on, Brother Washington?
Hey, I wanted to speak to the question regarding young voters, and this is probably the most important election that anybody could ever register or vote in. And I think that a lot of people, for whatever reason, we're not getting it. I've been working as a voting location manager for quite a few years, and I've seen the attitudes change and and the numbers go down. And I wanted to talk about real quick why I think a lot of youth aren't interested. A lot of our politicians, they refuse to speak into the conditions of now in a language that young people understand, and the things that those 18 to 25-year-olds are going through. And if they're not speaking to the conditions that young people are dealing with now, then oftentimes young people may feel like, hey, why should I vote? Because they're only talking about climate change. They're only talking about free Medicare for all. They're only talking about some type of war that's going on in China, but they're not talking about the hood. They're not talking about economic development. They're not talking about the violence. They're not talking about the schools, the neighborhoods, and that's where young people live. So one of the things that we've done at CSRN was utilize the Young Black Democrats. These are young people, early 20s, that can really engage younger people. And whenever we have a protest or a protest awareness event, we bring our voter registration, because young people come out. So while we're yelling, fight the power, we're saying, hey, register to vote.
Yeah.
While we're saying fight the power, we're saying, hey, we may pull you off to the side, because there's something happening within that crowd of the protest that other people may not see. The protests, the numbers get people involved, in particularly younger people.
Absolutely.
Once they come into that circle, we're talking about voting, we're talking about gardening, we're talking about safe communities. But sometimes the vehicle that you bring young people to may not look like a sit down, shut up, and listen. It may have to look like a mob. It may have to look like something like Tree say, that's lit. So organize something that's lit first, and when young people come to it, have those voter registration, rolls. We're doing that this weekend. We're having a Refund Toledo initiative. And young people have heard about defund the police. They've heard about these types of things. A lot of police awareness stuff is hot right now. So on Saturday, 3 o'clock, we're registering people to vote. While we're speaking truth to power.
Absolutely, Brother Muhammad. And we see some of our viewers weighing in, and many of us know that do not know and are familiar with your works and what you're a part of, and trying to encourage tomorrow's generation. One of the things that you said was very important is meeting people where they at. So oftentimes people want to create something and then gets mad when there's not a turnout, or they missed the mark. One thing about the City Park Basketball League, what we have been able to do is bring those resources, services, and opportunities where young people are involved. That's why the power of a microphone is so important, or a megaphone, whatever you use, like you said at a protest, is because you got to be able to connect those with relationships. I'm not trying to be at a protest, Brother Mohammed, or at a city park basketball league to get involved with somebody that don't look like me. That's somebody that ain't going to have some of the same values or some of the same things that I experience. So you are absolutely right that when we do it, we must use those people that can connect with the people that we trying to influence.
Right.
We had our brother Malik on here. He said it a couple weeks ago as he did the Heal the Hood event. He said that no, Mr. Ma'am or Mr. Sir, that was not black in this particular case. No, I'm not going to listen to you. So, Brother Muhammad, we got to use those resources and those individuals that can help push the goal. And what's the goal? Trying to get people registered to vote.
Right. And lastly, I think that Brother Malik, I'm just going to shout out some people that I know that's doing this. Brother Malik, Chris McBrayer.
Yes, sir.
Gutter Dave, Vic, the executive producer of your show.
Yes.
Rashawn Jones.
Yep.
Tamisha Cunningham. Man, look, it's a lot of people that's doing it.
Absolutely.
And we're doing it in a non-traditional way. And like I say, most of us, I'm approaching 60 years old.
You don't look like it, man.
A lot of us just want you to sit down, shut up, and listen. And most of us that are my age, we know it's not going to work because some of us don't want to change.
Absolutely.
We want to hold on to our positions. So young people respond to our lack of leadership by not showing up. So it's really not. Don't put it on the young people. Put it on people like myself that know better but refuse to address it in the way of now. We do know, but we act like it's a secret so our young people don't know. But we do know. So whenever politicians ask me, well, what do you guys want us to do? That's an insult because they know.
All right.
They just pretend that they don't.
Right.
I don't want to get on my stuff because I don't want to get fired on an off. I don't want to get fired on an off pay week. All right, but
work it out Wednesday, man. Brother Muhammad, thank you for weighing in.
Thank you so much.
I know you're going to like this.
Yeah, beautiful. This is a beautiful show. We promote 419 Grind on our weekly CSRN video minutes. And we uplift all of the young brothers and sisters that are speaking to now. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Us older people will either have to catch up or we'll be wandering in the wilderness until some of us die off. But, hey, it's our chance now for older people to get on this, all right? Because we're not going back. We're not going back.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again, Brother Muhammad. Keep grinding this morning. Check us out Monday through Friday. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you for all your love and support.
Hey, Treese. Can I say something about the voting right quick?
Man, absolutely, man. We the ones that got to listen to y'all.
Like, okay, I feel like young people don't vote because, like, too many. I feel like we need to tell them the facts about what voting do for them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, basically, I got friends that tell me, like, they don't know what Obama did for us.
Okay.
Like, why should we vote? Obama didn't do nothing for us.
Absolutely.
They didn't do nothing. But they don't do their research to figure out what Obama actually did do for us. Like, he did stuff for the felons to make it so your felonies can't be held against you. But they don't know that.
So are you saying, D, that many of our influential, and I won't say young people, I'll just say influential people, that's able to be influenced, they rather just somebody tell them than as opposed to look up what accomplishments that maybe Obama had. I had a buddy of mine that made a joke. He was like, Obama did do something for me. He got me an Obama phone.
Right.
So now, with a younger generation, do someone need to tell them, or they don't want to do the research to find out what they did for them?
They don't want to do the research. Like, they more like put it out like a picture, like just show me, like, all right, you see Trump gave out the money, right? Now
Yep.
everybody like, oh, like they could be bought, like, but he just gave it to them.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a great way to look at it, because that, you're right. It is what is being seen that really impact my life.
Right.
People saw Leah.
Right.
People receiving the check. DeJuan, you saw people getting that money. Oh man, if Obama did that, or if Biden and Senator Harris does that, now I can see what they do. So you saying and this is something that may have to change. We have to change what we thought worked in the past. Right now, what he's saying is we're visual learners. We have to see, Leah, what you did for me.
Right.
DeJuan, you're saying that many of the younger folks need to see what can be done to change their life?
They need to see the results.
And not be told results.
Right.
You gonna help us get some young voters voting. And one of the things, like I said, that became prevalent to me on voting was I didn't want my son to see me not voting. And then he pick up, well, my daddy didn't vote.
Right.
Or I didn't want my niece or my daughter or my cousin to see me not vote, D, and then they say they don't want to do it. Because if you put in your age bracket, 18 to 26, you put them in front of some students at an elementary, and somebody asks them, you put 20 young adults in front of a gymnasium full of kids and ask them, are they going to vote? What are they probably likely to say?
Probably gonna say no.
That they ain't gonna vote in front of the kids?
Oh, if you put them in front of the kids and you tell them like, yeah, they gonna vote, then the little kids gonna vote, yeah.
So they need to be seen showing that they will vote.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we need to take heed of that, Leah. Like, it's about what they see.
Yes. I was just listening to the radio yesterday, and whoever it was talking was saying that children do what they see, not what we tell them. You know, so we can sit up and talk till we're blue in the face, but they're gonna follow our actions.
Absolutely.
Like, period.
We need like pictures of like NBA players, young boy, and all them. They need to go vote.
Yeah.
Doing the actual, man, that's big. And you know what? We got a winner, and we're gonna come back and talk about it. But we gotta go to a break. Again, if you want to be a sponsor of the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show, send your info to info@the419.com or inbox us. We want to let folks know what's out there that helps us, promotes us. It is the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show right here on the 419 Grind Podcast, exclusive.
If you're tired of church as usual and you're looking for something invigorating, exciting with passion, then the Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church, 3251 Glendale, is the place for you. We are a people that's determined to occupy all streets while cultivating cultural change. The only thing's missing is you. Meet us at 3251 Glendale Avenue as we continue to be relevant and occupy all streets while cultivating cultural change.
Rise and Grind Morning Show, brought to you by the 419 Grind Podcast exclusive. It's your boy Big Trees, and we in the 419 studios, and I got the lovely Miss Leah Renee.
Hey, it's your girl, Miss Leah Renee.
Yeah, she woke now, y'all. We got her. Got our intern engineering in here, Mr. Dewan. What's up, D? How you doing, man?
What's up?
Man, thank you so much for weighing in, man. I tip my hat off to you. People are getting a chance to see a real, live, grassrooted podcast that's taking over the country, not just locally. We going over the country. Well, and before we went to break, we was talking about voting. We just want to show a little love to y'all. Was just hearing Toledo's own, the Flintstones, the boy Lane Ridley,
Shout
Classy
out.
and
Yeah,
Ratchet.
I like that song. I like that.
Good vibes. So make sure if you have some music, clean preferably, but send your music. I need some R&B. I need a little bit of some dance type music. Send it to info@the419grind.com and we'll get a chance to play it right here with us. So Leah, before we left, we were talking about voting, getting
Yes.
young people involved, creating events around voting, which is huge. As Brother Washington said, this is one of the most pivotal times in our lifetime about voting.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
But you know what, Leah? Why do you think that is? Why is people saying that this is one of the most important elections of all? Because all of them important, but why do you think people are saying that?
Yeah, I mean, every election is definitely important, but I think that this election is so important because we've seen such a major divide in our country, in our nation since this guy has been in office. He's made it a point to divide the people, and a lot of us we don't feel secure underneath his reign, and it's important that we get out and vote so that we can make a change and get someone new into office that can bring new policies, just new everything, new everything. Because I can't with this man.
Well, one thing that we know about this opportunity is that we get a chance to have our viewers and caller in. We got a caller on the phone. Hey, good morning. Thank you for calling in to the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Who's on the call?
Hey, everybody, this is Dr. Bree. How's it
Hey, Dr. Bree.
What's up,
Hey,
Grinder?
Dr. Bree. Shout out to Dr. Bree. He's our sponsor.
And excited to be that and very happy with what I'm seeing you guys do. You're very informative. Keep up what you're doing. The work is impactful. You're changing the substrate distance. And I want to say thank you for what you're doing, not just for our community, but people, believe it or not, are watching you all in other states. You got Louisiana watching, Texas have been watching you, Maryland, D.C., Pennsylvania, Delaware. A lot of the people who are connected to us are like, what is going on with this group? So your energy is great, man. Keep it up.
And Dr. Hall, just from a personal standpoint, that's why we love here in Toledo like we love, because Dr. Hall, not only are you speaking truth to power, you also put your time, your energy, and your resources and your funds behind this grassroots effort. So those that's weighing in, those that's listening through the iHeart, those that's watching the #1 Urban Podcast, this is Dr. Hall on the phone who has put the resources and energy to make sure that this is the #1 Urban Podcast in the country. And so thank you, Dr. Hall. You hear me?
Yes.
No, my pleasure is mine.
And for those of you who don't know, he has Breon Hall Ministries, where he does his own show After Dark and The Midnight Cry. So you guys have to check out his social media pages. And Dr. Bree, you said in your comment, we need public policy forums, just going back to voting and what we were talking about before the break. And so what exactly, for those of us who don't know what public policy forums are or what they even do, can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think that most of urban America has become inundated with not voting. And the first thing that you would hear from a lot of millennials or Gen Zers is that I'm not going to vote. My vote doesn't matter. And there have been so many elections that have been lost by a small percentage. here's what is amazing is that most people will get excited about the presidential election, which is this year. But next year is when we have an opportunity to vote for local officials, those who will go to the Senate, those who will go to Congress. And there are three branches of government. It's the executive, legislative, and your judicial. So it's the judges that we vote in. It's those who are our local lawmakers, and, of course, those who we vote in on the executive level. Public policy forums educates young brothers and sisters like your young intern who is so articulate, and I'm proud of him and what he's doing, man. He's representative of 18-year-olds, and they should see him as the poster child for 18-year-olds because he is doing, I watched him the last 3 times. I'm not easily impressed with people, but I got to say I'm impressed with this 18-year-old young man, and I wish him well on every endeavor that he does. But the Public Policy Institute.
He want to say thank you, Dr. Hall. He want to say thank you.
Oh, listen, my pleasure, man. I won't speak it if I don't believe it. Absolutely.
I appreciate that so much.
No problem, man. Keep doing it, man. I'm proud of you. And so the Public Policy Institute will educate those about how laws are funded. And even you can go and fact check how the people that you voted for voted on legislation in Congress or in the Senate.
Wow.
You can see where they sat or who voted for what, who voted to take dollars out of our city, who voted to put monies elsewhere. I'm totally against a lot of our erroneous doctrine that we've tried to create as it relates to public policy, because we can get on bandwagons and do things that we think is right, but it's not necessarily good for the common good of all people. But we have to see how legislation is made into law. How does a bill become a law?
Yes.
It has to be funded somewhere. And how did the persons that wanted your vote, how did they vote? And listen, this election is not about Democrat, Republican, or independent. You've got to really look at the fabric of people. You all have done so much homework on the present administration and what is happening in America right now, and we cannot put all the blame on the president. While it is our job to pray for him, we can't put all the blame on him. We've got to also hold accountable those that are in the Senate and those that are in the Congress who have been trying to work so hard. The problem is at this point is that it's a war. It's a war within the two branches of government. They are fighting against each other because one wants to be better than the other.
Right.
When we go to vote this time, we must realize that our voting really does count. Your vote counts. Your vote is just as important as the next person's, but we must fact check all of those persons that we have elected into office.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I know, Dr. Hall, is that the fight is in the policy. So you're absolutely right. One of the other things that we know we must do when we talk about politics, and I used to be a history and sociology teacher, and one of the things that I had to work on as a teacher and an educator is I had to be creative in how I got the messaging out, because it's boring.
Yes.
It doesn't, and it's like food, or the good food that costs, it doesn't always taste good, but it's good for us. So how do we, Dr. Hall, we get creative in our teaching about public policy, because we're in a phase of we have to be creative in getting that message out, and it doesn't come in a way that normally looks like how it looked in the past. When we talk about how you create a law, how it becomes and who voted on it, we have to be creative in presenting that information. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
No, I totally agree with you, Trace. We've got to change our method without changing our message.
Ooh, say that one more time. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
We've got to change our method without changing our message.
Yes.
And so you don't compromise the message because you change your method. People may not even understand, and let me say this, for those that are watching, they may not even understand why, as a pastor of a church, would I be so engaged with an urban talk show. It is because what you do affects the people that I pastor. The people that I pastor are not individuals who wake up with wings under their clothing.
Yes.
They're not persons who are walking above water. I pastor normal people who need to have real normal conversations. And I pastor millennials. I pastor Gen Zers. And I think that this is a place where they can come and hear from intelligent people talking about the issues in urban America.
Yes.
And so churches are going to have to come outside their walls.
Yes.
And I'm challenging pastors to cross-pollinate and have collaborative efforts with other entities that may not be a Bible study.
Expect the
My church
unexpected.
needs more than Bible study. They
Yes.
need to have somewhere where they can have real conversations. And the problem with the postmodern Christian church is that we've allowed the ethos of our theology to be shaped by that which is in the Bible. And a lot of things that are true and effective are not necessarily in the Word of God. And I know some pseudo-religious person is going to challenge me on my thoughts.
Tell them
But
what's
my
up.
Theory is, my theory is that not everything that people need, everybody's not a demon. Everybody's not demon possessed.
Yes.
People just need to have serious conversations. And so I'm a proud sponsor of 419 Grind. I'm a proud sponsor.
Make some
of the Rise
noise.
and Grind Morning Show. I really am. And the Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church stands. We didn't do it behind the curtain. It wasn't something that we did in a closet and hid from it. No, we are proud sponsors of this because there are persons that really need to wake up in the morning and get something that gives them the energy. Not everybody's going to come to my Bible study. Not everybody is going to come to my church service. Not everybody going to come to church. And
That's
they got to
right.
get that in their cerebrum. But if they can get up in the morning and get something positive on their way to work, coffee ain't going to do it all the time. Caffeine ain't going to do it.
That's
You
right.
need something to really wake you and pump you. And so, Treese, you're right. We got to change the method without compromising the message. And when we do, we can see change in our community because we are the progenitor of change. What you do every morning with waking up and going to that studio, sacrificing your time and your sleep and your energy to wake up Toledo, you are becoming a progenitor of change, which will ultimately spill over into how we vote and how we see America. And as we see America, we've got to first see our community. You will never take the world without first taking the block in which you live.
That's
Oh,
right.
my goodness.
That is so powerful and so true.
Leah, Dr. Hall hitting on this,
Yes.
that good.
Yes.
All you need is a word. And Leah actually got her shirt on today, Pastor Hall. She repping you. But one of the things that you just kind of said for many of us that to wrap that up, Dr. Hall, is you can't lead unless you love. You can't serve. You can't save unless you serve.
That's right.
You can't lead unless you love. You can't save unless you serve.
That's right.
And so every morning, just as you, Dr. Hall, in your ministries, and I know specifically, the kids say, but specifically, families that you have impacted
Yes.
with
Thank
your
you, man.
ministry, that you support us. You have taken a young lady like Leah in the studio and has
Yes.
given her an opportunity to show her gifts and talents,
Yes.
to reach, and she is a mother of 3. You have done that for other families. Big shout out to Coach T, Janelle, Yada, Aura.
Yes, everybody. My girl, Miss Yana. Yes, everybody
Treese,
over there.
you know my whole church. Well, it's just you missing now, man, when you're coming on.
Right.
I'm sure
You know my whole team.
I do, Dr. Hall, and we know your works, and you are true to your word about giving opportunity. One of the things that we often hear, Leah's daughter, Bree, shout out to Bree over at
Shout
Roger.
out to Bree.
One of the things that she said, Dr. Hall, that you do well with, and your ministry also says it, that you listen, man. You listen, and you don't listen judgmentally.
Yes.
No.
You listen with an open ear
Yes.
to
and an
say,
open
hey,
heart.
let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, we'll try something different.
Yeah.
But let's give it a try. And thank you for being that agent of
Yes.
that vehicle agent of trying. Because what happens is when somebody shuts the door on us, we get frustrated, and then I don't want to go to the next person because of what Dr. Hall said couldn't work here. No, Dr. Hall, thank you. You hear me, my friend?
Yes. And
Yeah,
I wanna,
listen,
and
man, thank you.
Yeah, I want to say personally to you, Dr. Hall, thank you for everything that you've done. You've been just impacting my own personal family. And ever since I've met Dr. Hall, he's been very influential with my branding and my marketing for my own company that I'm now forming, and is also going to be my first sponsor. So I thank you so much for all the love and support that you've given to the 419 Grind and that you're going to be giving to LRP Enterprises. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
One of the things that's huge about that, Leah, is number one. Leah, what is your nationality?
I am a Mexican, Indian, Native American, German, and Black.
So when we talk about ministry, Dr. Hall, did you hear what this young sister just said? The lives and the family.
Yes.
So when they talk about diversity and empowerment,
yeah,
right here,
yes,
that's what you're doing.
You know, Treese, I'm gonna say this: we have in our church, we have 7 different nationalities in Greater New Psalmist Church, and at this point, we have members literally like all over the world in 13 countries that are online members. But let me say this very quickly, and I'm done. To my own chagrin, I must admit that there were times when I hated my own life. And, man, this is a whole story that I need to come on and tell.
And you are going to come on and tell it.
I disliked me. I had messed up so much, Treese, that I felt like no one wanted to hear me.
Okay.
And I couldn't pull myself out of the mess that I was in. I needed a loving God to love me. And you know what is amazing is that the very place that I said I disliked, I didn't want to be in Toledo anymore because I felt like it was the people. Oh, they wouldn't let me do anything. They wouldn't help me up. And God spoke to me. I preached a sermon Sunday entitled, "You Will Never Step Over Me Again." And the reason I did that is because I had allowed others to step over me because of my own insecurities, because of all of the failures, all the stuff that I thought people were saying. And God said, the very place where you messed up is the same place I'm going to give you a miracle.
Yes.
And that's what I purport. Listen, I used to be ashamed of some of the things that I had done, some of the things that I had said, some of the places I had gone, because all of the people weren't lying about me. Now, this is a whole show, man. I got to go. But some of the people who put stuff out about me, they were not lying. But, man, when I embraced it, thank you, Leah Renee,
yes,
when I embraced my truth,
yes, speak that
when
truth.
I began to live in my truth and recognize I was jacked up, I didn't deserve to be loved by anybody because I didn't even love me. And I was struggling with loving God at that point because I had fallen so much. But, brother, when you can admit the fact that you have done what most people said you did, but look what God has done, when you get tired of living like that, make a change, that's when you can impact people.
Yes.
But it's only until you make it in your mind to admit the fact that you have done all the stuff that you've done. And the only reason that I'm where I am is because I was honest with me and said, God, you got to change me because I'm about to wreck. Bree is about to wreck himself, not other people.
Powerful.
I was about to wreck me.
That's powerful.
Thank you for sharing. And that's a word right there. And that's a word of truth and power.
Yes.
Dr. Hall, I love you, man.
Yes.
And I don't say that and I don't say that lightly. And as you know me, it's real. You hearing it from Leah, you hearing it from
I love you as well, Dr. Hall.
Love you too, Leah.
I don't know you, but I love you too.
Love you too, man. Love you too, brother.
He will meet you.
Know me.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Dr. Hall.
Treese, you're holding it down for Tuskegee. I got to tell all of your alumni that you're holding it down.
You know. Yeah, it's a real Tuskegee HBCU thing. Thank you for that. Dr. Hall, man, enjoy your day. Keep grinding.
Have a beautiful day.
We look forward to having you in the
same.
studios.
Man, looking forward to it.
All right.
All right.
Yes, we definitely got to get him in here and have him tell that whole story because that's powerful. And it's powerful when people, public figure, someone who is in ministry, has the courage to say, hey, yes, I've been messed up at times. I'm not this perfect person. I don't sit up at top. You know, I mess up too. So we all mess up and we have to admit where we're wrong and move on and learn from it.
DeJuan, when you hear a gentleman who you have never met, but you understand that he is in the ministry, what does that say to you, man? How do you apply that to your life when you walk out of this studio, when you hear a message and a conversation from somebody like Dr. Hall, man? What's your thoughts?
I try to take what he say and apply it the best way I know how to my life.
So what did you hear him say? And all the things that he said, what is something that Dr. Hall, other than the love that he showed you, that you will apply when you walk, when you go home, when you're driving in that car, or when you're around your friends and you need someone, you have to make that decision. Am I going to do this and I ain't going to do that? And you're going to remember something that Dr. Hall said. What is something that he said that you can use, man?
Well, I really relate to how he talked about how God changed his life.
Okay.
Because God changed my life too.
Yes, talk about it.
And, well, like a couple months ago, I was in a predicament where my freedom was going to be took away from me.
Uh-oh.
Speak truth and use it. Your stripes is a part of your strength. Your stripes is a part of your strength. So you can speak to it. I'm a convicted felon, man. I am a convicted felon, and the whole world is listening to me right now. So it's cool.
All right, so yeah, I was gonna go to jail a couple months ago, but when I was sitting in the cell, I prayed because my mom kept telling me like just pray, talk to God, and I feel like I was going down the wrong path, and God put me there to make me a better person because only good things happened since I went to jail. So going to jail wasn't even a bad thing for real. It just made me better.
Yes.
Do you think that somebody has to go to jail to get their attention?
Like sometimes you gotta be put in a place to where like you only can communicate with God, because in jail,
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
You gotta be put somewhere like where you can only communicate with God.
Do you hear him, Leah?
Yes, and God will do that. He will separate you from everything you think you know and love. When you think you got it figured out, he will stop you and sit you down and make you get close to him.
Yeah.
And so with that situation, what took place? Since you had that relationship where it wasn't nobody but you and him. And like you said, with that time that you spent with him, what has happened in your life?
Like, well, I done got a lot of accomplishments since then, but me personally now, like I look at things deeper. Like I know everything happened for a reason now.
Yes.
I just got fired from my job.
Okay.
But then I got this job.
Yes.
And I do this all day, and this is what I like to do. This is what I go to school for, and I'm not pushing carts or flipping burgers.
And again, I thank God for that because it taught you something in that flipping burger and that cart. We talked about that. But Leah, did you hear what he said?
Yes.
He said when it looked like it was falling into pieces, things was really falling into place.
Yes.
And so to all our viewers, again, when we talk about growing through adversity, man, I'm so proud of you. And that's why
I am too.
That's why when you put the camera on the
melted
t-shirts.
my heart with that. Go on.
Put the camera on the t-shirts. Because y'all just heard the young brother said he had this opportunity to bounce back from losing a job.
Just being in a jail cell just 2 months ago. I didn't even know that, Dewan.
Not 2 months ago.
Okay.
A couple months ago.
Well, whatever. Well, however many months ago. You know what I mean? It
was that serious.
That was a great testimony that you just gave, and my heart literally melted right in this spot.
So hit your hearts for Dewan. Hit the hearts for D, because what I shared with him and how we got connected. I know his family very closely. Y'all see them t-shirts?
Yes.
Purchase a t-shirt right now because it's gonna help. It's going to help with our stipend that we are going to
interns.
Compensate this young brother so that he don't have to sit back in the jail because he can enjoy what he does. And man, the hearts is clicking.
So to all of you who are out there always on Facebook, how can I help? What can I do? What can I do? You can start right here with the 419 Grind and support us because we have created a platform and an internship program for our young people. And so you can just go over to our page or hit our Cash App. Treese, what is the Cash App?
The Cash App is the 419 Grind. Put the $sign in front of it, the 419 Grind.
And even if you don't want a t-shirt, please still just send a donation because we are serious. We are giving these interns an opportunity and we are offering stipends to them. So you guys can support us and we can support them and keep them out of these streets.
And it's one thing that I heard you say, I used to travel with Life. Life Jennings is my cousin, but I used to be a personal security with him. So I used to travel the country with him. And many people don't know why Life Jennings went to jail because he's waiting on that opportunity to really share that on a larger platform. But what he talks about when he does have small interviews, God recycled him and putting him in the recycling business. And he said, just what you said, God had to sit him down to get his attention.
Yes.
And he put him in a situation that he didn't want to, but now he is a major recording artist, one of the best in the country.
All over the world.
You know what's crazy? It's like he do music, I do music. I feel like as artists, like God do that because like we the voice.
Yes.
So like we gonna go back.
Must be nice.
Yes.
And he talks about just what he said when God recycled him, and he talks about his story. And we'll get him on the show, and he'll talk more about that. But what you don't know, Dewan, is because of where you sat in that cell when Pastor Hall talks about the message to a miracle. I'm going before your judge, who I know here in Toledo, your judge, and we're going to tell your judge what you are a part of, what you have been doing, while you're going through, because I know it's going to speak favor on your life, and I know the judge will hold what you are doing right now on the #1 urban podcast show in the country. You also help be a part of the 2020 election here in the United States. So when we talk about the mistake that you made, but it turned into the miracle that you lay in, it's huge, man. Big shout out to Marcus Kelly.
Huge.
Yeah, shout out Marcus Kelly. I love him too.
But you will continue to be able to be a beacon of light to what young people may experience. Leah, I know there's a lot of love being shown.
Shout out to our young people. We definitely got to send a special shout out to our boy Trey. We miss you so much, Trey.
Murky Murk.
And shout out to Murky Murk. We miss both of you because she's back in school, and Trey has gotten his new job at Jeep, but he's doing some orientation stuff over at Owens this morning. But they're doing big things, and so shout out to our young people, man. I love you guys.
Y'all can got me all
I know.
melted. Yeah,
Like,
I'll be back. We got to go to a message right now. It's all new rising.
I got to get back on my G stuff. No.
All new Rise and Grind show presented to you by the 419 podcast. Don't go nowhere. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
If you're tired of church as usual and you're looking for something invigorating, exciting with passion, then the Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church, 3251 Glendale, is the place for you. We are a people that's determined to occupy all streets while cultivating cultural change. The only thing's missing is you. Meet us at 3251 Glendale Avenue as we continue to be relevant and occupy all streets while cultivating cultural change.
Yes, welcome back to the all new Rise and Grind morning show. It is your girl, Miss Leah Renee, and I got my boy Big Treese with
Hear
me. I'm so happy you're back. That was our boy Dre McCullum with Tell Me Why. I just love that song. So yeah, Treese, in recent news,
Off the top?
Yeah, just straight off the top. We all know what happened with Breonna Taylor, which was just tragic. There still hasn't been an arrest. The officer still hasn't been arrested. But New York Times came out with an article saying that her family has been offered a $12 million lawsuit. So what do you think about that? You think they're just trying to, hey, shut up, here, take this money and be happy?
No, because I think the family agreed on the settlement for that $12 million. And there's going to be more things that happen involved in that. There's going to be some police reform that they're going to do and some other things that will take place with the settlement. We are still looking for action against those officers that was involved, though.
Because you can't just give a check and think that that's going to solve the problem. Like, we still want justice, period.
And I don't really know if there'll be justice, Leah, because, again, Breonna lost her life. So there's really no justification.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It is how do we move forward with the incident. And so with the police reform that they have in that settlement package, what that will look like, and then the charges being brought against those officers who were involved with the shooting death of Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
And we're seeing so many platforms say her name, say her name, say her name.
Yes.
Also, off the top with some of the things going on, here locally, there are warrants being issued for unemployment fraud here in the 419. Lucas County has an issued warrants for unemployment fraud right here in the city of Toledo.
They got the feds here too.
Yeah, the feds is here too. So
they coming for you.
Those that
if you was being fraudulent, they are coming for you.
They are. The COVID cases are down here in Lucas County,
that's
though.
Awesome.
We are, and I think it began last week. We went from red to orange, so our cases are down. People are covering up, practicing social distancing.
And they're saying now even, too, I guess that there's really a lot of talk about that the kids are probably going to be going back to school real soon. Like, because of all this, there's just too much issues with the internet. And we're trying to have all these kids doing everything virtually. What do you think about that? Like, if they do decide, say, even like next month, like a month from now in mid-October, they're like, the kids are going back to school. Like, what do you feel about that, sending your son back?
Well, one of the things that we know, my son is a socialist. He likes the social interaction engage. The school system that he's in Michigan, they are very proactive in how they are operating within the school.
So basically, he go to a good school.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And I tip my hat off to his mom and her family.
Yes, give that love.
Her grandparents, her parents, both retired from working in the automotive industry, and they made a well-to-do life. When I had my son by my son's mother, big shout out to DeQuindra Dinkins.
Yes.
I had a good one.
You did good, huh? You did good.
I went down in that.
Did something right, huh?
I came out in a good hole. And she came out on a good pole. So
my God.
Yeah, that part. So it's all good. I know you're 18. You'll understand the hole in the pole later on, DeJuan.
I think he knows exactly what the hole in the
pole is. So her family is very, very in tune with success of their family. So I think
so probably the grandparents are very active, like how my daughter's grandparents are.
Absolutely, on both sides.
Shout out to the grandparents, my mom and all the grandparents, because they hold it down for us.
They held it down for us, and so yes. With that being said, as long as there are manageable, this is my personal opinion to the question that you asked, Leah. Long as there are manageable practices in place to keeping teachers, students, faculty safe, let's do it. Because someone like myself with my outreach works, I am seeing, and I knew this would happen, they talk about quarantine, we are seeing guillotine.
Yes.
They talk about quarantining, I'm talking about guillotining. So, yes, we need to put these things back in place and a new way of operating because it saves lives, Leah.
And I think that it's important because it starts at home. Like, I mean, that's the general rule of thumb for everything. But let's think about this. You have people who are saying, oh, this is going to be dumb. I'm not sending my kid. I don't want to send my kids back to school. These kids, they're not going to follow the rules. They're not going to wear the mask. And, well, listen, why are you even already with that negative train of thought? What we have to do is create this new normal. And we have to make sure that our kids are right now. Like, we have to, if your kids aren't already in the habit of knowing that they need to be washing their hands every single, all throughout the day, multiple times, and keeping on their mask, like, maybe we need to, as parents, start creating that narrative for our kids. Even if we're just walking through the house, let's start making them put their masks on, even if they wear it like this. You know what I'm saying? Just to get in the habit of having that mask behind your ears, having it hanging right here. You know what I mean? We have to get these kids in that habit so that when they do go back to school, they're automatically in that mindset. I gotta wash my hands, or I gotta keep my mask on. We can't give them excuses. Like, they have to go back to school at some point. So like you said, we just have to set those parameters, practice those precautions, and get our kids in these new habits.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's hard to do that either. Like, we could, how they make stuff cool, just make wearing masks cool.
Exactly, like and more kids style masks and things like that.
Absolutely, and it was interesting that you say that because that was an initiative that we were working on to making the mask engaging, making it fun,
Yeah.
I like the point that you just made, Leah, about the practicing as well, even to the point where now I have to go to school with my son, or mom has to go to school, back to school with my son when school starts.
Mm-hmm.
So that sets the tone on how it is, and it gets the parent engaged. Now, yes, you might have to call off of work. Yes, you might have to do some things. Yes, the schools might have to be set up a little different. But I believe when we talk about behavior issues, because that's what we're hearing a lot of people say, the kids aren't going to listen, they're not going to do this. Let's have some checkpoints in place to help guide those behaviors. Because yes, Leah, when they come back to school, they're going to be lit.
Yes.
They're going to be turned up. They ain't going to want to listen. So it's being creative in how you engage students. Can you imagine, DeJuan, the seniors, the juniors, the high schoolers come back to school and everybody get to see them? Man, what is school going to be like?
Hey, school is already lit, so
So when they come back and they ain't seen it,
even more lit. They ain't seen
They
each
gonna
other.
be going back to school like it's the club. Like,
so and then the teachers and the administrators and educators gonna want to sit down and be quiet and let's teach. Hell no.
right.
Everybody ain't get to wear their best dress. Everybody
Right.
bring their best dress outfit the first 4
Yeah.
days.
What?
Yeah.
So
First
we
4 days of school, best dress outfit.
so now you gonna tell me to sit down and we gonna talk about school and how this classroom gonna be. No, we got to be creative in how we approach that. So
Yes.
again, now some people will say, well, no, we can't do it that way. That ain't work. How the hell you know it don't work if you ain't never gave it a try? But then you going to get mad when my son get mad or that student don't do what the hell you asked them to do because you wasn't creative in keeping them engaged. I
Yes.
taught social studies and history. That was one of the most boring subjects. But I made it fun, D.
Right.
I loved history though.
You did? Thank you for being one of those that love history. I didn't like history, but then I learned to love history because in terms of you got to know where you came from to know where you're going.
Like, well, that'd take us off topic, but you see, like the 9/11 stuff. People starting like they don't bring it up as much. Like when we in school, they bring it up, but now that we wasn't in school this year, you ain't really hear about it on 9/11. Like,
Right.
then when you forget about it, it repeat itself.
And here we go again. Great point. Great point. Leah, I know there's a few people, and we're going to wrap this show up real soon here. Another great show, Work It Out Wednesday. We had a number of topics. What's some of the responses that we're seeing on the live and those that may be weighing in? What's some of the conversations that we're seeing?
Just back to the conversation of the kids going back to school and stuff. And Andrea says, and shout out to my sis Andrea because she sent a donation to the
Thank you so
419
much.
Grind. Thank you so much, sis. We appreciate all your love and
We got that
support.
Cash App, baby.
Yes, and we just really appreciate you over here. But she said she thinks it'll be harder for the younger school age kids, preschool, kindergarten, etc. And yes, I agree. It is going to be hard to get our kids in the habit, but that's why it is so important that we keep doing what we've been doing now and being more precautious and we have to force our kids to get in the habit, you know what I mean, of washing their hands every single time they use the bathroom, every single time they go outside and come back in the house, every time they're about to eat, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
every single time. We have to tell them, because an 8-year-old, my kid don't corona what? He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to wash his hands unless I say, hey, boy, go wash your hands. You know what I'm saying?
Or, Leah, I'm tired of you telling me you going to go wash them with me. So now we washing it together.
Exactly.
Who can wash their hands the best?
Exactly.
So
making a song out of it, you know? Maybe even make a handshake out of it while you're washing your hands, you know, because kids love that. My son made up a handshake for me and him. So maybe I'll even take that on, like, while we're washing our hands, do our little handshake.
Absolutely, because what happens is we get into the point of where we tell. We have to show. So to all those that's listening, that's weighing in, those that's listening to us on the iHeart Radio, you have to show your kids. You have to show your students. You have to show. Dewan just spoke about that. He said, make wearing masks fun.
Yes.
Creative. How long can you keep your mask on challenge? Little things like that we know will work.
TikToks like that. How
you
long?
can't be a superhero if you don't keep your mask on. You know, it makes you invisible. If you have, you know, like, remember that movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler?
Yes, sir.
When he put the sunglasses on the little boy, said, you know, anytime you want to pretend like you're invisible, put on your sunglasses. So, you know, there you go.
So we have to be creative in how we engage. Want to announce our shirt winners before we go. Big shout out to Amani Latif. Latif, you subscribe to the YouTube page. You will send us your size. We got it. Big Coop Winston is another winner. Each one of those young men, thank you so much for subscribing to our YouTube page. You win a free T-shirt that will help a young adult. Leah, is there someone else that you want to make a mention of?
Yes, I just want to say, show my love and appreciation to Dr. Hall. He just commented and said he's upping his sponsorship next week. So we're going to be getting an upgraded sponsorship package, so that's big up. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And we'll have Leah send you the sponsorship level,
yes,
so that you can see some of the features and things that you will receive with being a sponsor, and some of the things that already will be forwarded to you for being a sponsor. Let them know, Leah, about a few of our other shows that they can stay tuned for and look out for right here on the 419 Grind before we get out of the studio.
Yes, definitely make sure you guys stay tuned to the 419 Grind Studios, because we got heat. We have Real Table Talk with Miss Leah Renee, of course, and it's Wednesday, so a new episode is going to be airing today. I sat down with Sandy Brown and Sharice McBrayer, and we had great conversation. So make sure you guys stay tuned.
What time?
It'll be airing, I believe, at 11 a.m. or 7 p.m., one of the two. So, or might be at both times. I'm not sure, but definitely make sure you stay tuned to the 419 Grind page for that, and stay tuned to my page for that. Make sure you stay tuned to our other shows, The Executive Suite with Dr. Vic, 419 Grind with Jesse, Self-Explanatory with Lance and Arlinda, and happy birthday goes out to Arlinda. Her birthday was yesterday. Beautiful queen. Happy, I believe it was 34th birthday, my sister, my queen, and shout out to you and her and Lance. Underrated sports show coming soon, and Capital T with Tasha and Tanya. And No Facts Given is coming soon as well.
That's right. All those are right here on the 419 Grind podcast media outlet. Like, we have our own. Also, make sure that you tune in tomorrow. We got a great guest coming in, expecting unexpected. Be sure to go to the Toledo City Paper, vote us the #1 local podcast in the city.
Yes, vote. 7 p.m. tonight.
7
Stay
p.m.
tuned for Real Table Talk with Leah Renee. It will air at 7 p.m. tonight on the 419 Grind page, and I will share it on my page as well.
And you can also, again, make sure you like us. We'll all share that so that you can see a great conversation on Real Table Talk with Leah Renee.
Yes. You make sure you tune in, Treese.
I'm not. I'll be busy. But I'm going to share it, though. I'm going to share it, Jesse.
You sound like Marcus. No.
Also, again, continue to show love. Send in Cash App. Send donation and contribution to the 419 Grind on Cash App. We'll send it back, because actually I think maybe one day this week we're going to pay a few bills. We're going to help y'all out with a few bills. So it's all of us helping each other during this time.
Yes.
So make sure that you continue to support the all-new Rise and Grind morning show presented to you by the 419 Grind podcast exclusive. Tomorrow, it will be a mom's house type of a conversation, Leah.
Yes, I love it. I can't wait to sit down with them.
And so tune in tomorrow right here on the #1 urban podcast show in the country, out of the 419, the all-new Rise and Grind morning show.
We also have a great guest coming in on Friday too, so make sure you guys tune in tomorrow and Friday, because on Friday we'll be talking real estate and the pathway to home ownership, because I know a lot of us aren't homeowners yet, and we want to figure out how can I even just start that process. So make sure you guys stay tuned in for Thursday and Friday. We're sitting down with Greg Wimberly.
All new on the all new Rise and Grind morning show.
And until next time, mwah.